Facebook Live. We have arrived. One more time. Y'all, let's get it in.
Conference muted. Conference recording started.
I want to thank everybody for chiming in. This is Watchman Derrick Yisrael, also known as Pastor Derrick, on the Only What I Seek to Switch Study and Prayer Line on this third day in May 2023. Y'all, let's get it. We're in the He Changed His Mind series, part 2. Hallelujah. He Changed His Mind series. Part 2. Let's go to Matthew's 21:28. Thank the Most High for you twice. You be with your brother, tag teaming on them demons, and I appreciate you, man. That's what's up. Yes, sir. Yes, I like the suit too, man. Yep. Thank the Most High for you. Yeah. Your presence makes a difference for me doing my job, and I thank you. Barbara, good to see you in here. We got Mattiyahu holding it down, Barbara as well on the conference line. Joseph, thank the Most High for him. My mom in here, Melissa Green and Al Mal, my pal. Got Demina in here as well. Thank the Most High for y'all. He changed his mind. Part 2, Matthew's 21:28. Let's look at this again. What do you think? NIV. Good to see you in here, Gene. What do you think? There was a man. Let's check this out, y'all. What do you think? There was a man who had 2 sons. He went to the first and said, "Son, go and work today in the vineyard." Son said, "No. Boy, if we start talking about the vineyard, excuse me, I can understand how he felt." And he voiced it too. No. Deal with them people. In all honesty, like for us to pull some food out of that, him saying no, we would do ourselves justice if we investigated from a spiritual standpoint of why he said no. Why? What made him tell his daddy no? His father, y'all. Nicole, good to see you in here. Matthew's 21:28. But what made him say no? Leslie Sutton and Trenda. He said no. Matthew's 21:28. And he changed his mind series part 2. His daddy said, "Going out in the vineyard and work today." What made him say no? Did you know all the things that is happened on earth as of late? Some of these things are mind-boggling. I don't know if y'all followed the CERN, right? And they had this satanic video, it was all on YouTube, of this ritual, crazy satanic dance they did inside of the train station. Any of y'all see that? And they got this machine they got over there in Switzerland where Satan lived. And they did the craziest, ritual. It was bananas. It was wicked. Leslie Sutton, it was wicked. How you doing, Beverly? Good to see you in here. Matthew 21 and 28. You look at how the world got shut down recently. And folks was locked in their houses, never experienced nothing. The whole world turned into a prison. And that was just a test run. It was just a test run. What they call it? Curfew in place? Some crazy. They use these terms that sound so user-friendly. But they got power to lock you in your doggone house. Now they coming out with a digital currency. Now they gotta approve another budget or else the economy gonna crash. Y'all saw that? Any of y'all following any of that? Tony Sco, shalom, how you doing, sir? Matthew 21, 28. But when you look at the vineyard, what's going on in there? Transvestite storytelling for little children. And they be dressed perverted for little children. Universal bathrooms where boys and girls can walk in the bathroom at the same time. In schools. It's at my son's school right now. Matthew 21 and 28. So it posed the question, what do you think? It want to know what we think, right? Frank, good to see you in here. You mean in Yahoo, good to see you in here. It want to know what we think. Well, here we go. There was a man who had two sons, and he went to the first and said, son, go and work today in the vineyard. He immediately said no. Why did he say no? Maybe he knew what was in the vineyard. Don Deems, good to see you in here. Matthew 21, 28. Maybe he knew what was in the vineyard. Maybe he was aware of the plight, the fight, the difficulty, the discomfort of going to work in the vineyard. Obviously he knew because he said, nah, banks in the building. Matthew 21, 28. He literally said no. What made him say no, y'all? Had I known what I know now, from a natural standpoint, when I first came to y'all, I'd have said no too. Had I known, Matty Yahoo, good to see you in here. Pastor Kim Tinsley, Baraka Shalom, Matthew 21, 28. He changed his mind series, part 2. Had I known what I know now from a carnal standpoint, because had I known what I know now from a spiritual standpoint, I'd have did it sooner. I'd have joined the Most High sooner. I wouldn't have been in the streets as long had I known sooner what I know now from a spiritual standpoint. From a natural standpoint, me being a man, going into the vineyard, dealing with this, had I known all that, it would have bombarded me. I'd have been like his son, nah, man, I'm not finna do that. Ain't no way in the world I'm going to do this. No. No. Not this. To be mandated to do like a job like, say, a Noah. Okay, he's labeled as an idiot. This dude is building a boat and it ain't never rained before. So he sounds like an idiot. He looks like an idiot and he sounds like an idiot. While everybody living their life, this dude seems like a conspiracy theorist at its finest. Now, the term wasn't coined yet because these wicked people that's running the world right now, they know how to label you, and people are real sheeple people. They're not that smart. So all these devils got to do is label you. When you start telling on them and exposing how wicked they is, all they got to do is label you and sheeple people. Oh, don't want to hear nothing you got to say. They're calling you as crazy and you're too negative. You negative and you crazy. And it's only obvious to those that can see what's going on. It's obvious as heck. Especially when all they movies that they showing you is coming to pass. Every movie that they show you, what is it, Selson Green? What's the name of that, Frank? That movie, Selson Green, where all the food was gone. One piece of candy was invaluable. What was that, Selson Green? Something like that. That was the name of that movie. Y'all seen that movie? Hunger Games was a newer version of it. Like, when they locked the world down, I seen on the news, it was a big old mountain of potatoes, and they just was destroying the food. Those are infomercials, commercials to show you that they devils. They just, becoming food shortage. Revelations talk about it, but to watch these devils lie and manipulate people, it's kind of weird. My niece in here, Joshana, good to see you in here. Leslie Sutton. Solvent Green. Yeah. I saw that movie. Yeah, they destroyed 18,000 cows. They just weird, man. I seen them pour out on the news, pouring out milk, talking about it was contaminated. And they was just pouring it out, gallons and gallons and gallons and gallons of milk, just pouring it out. There's way more milk, but they just show you that's infomercial. So when they say it ain't no milk, when they say it ain't no water, well, you bought up all the water rights. That's why it ain't no water. It is water. You a liar. There's more water than land on earth. There's water purification systems. What you mean there ain't no water? Why are you poisoning the water? When we was coming up, we used to go outside and drink water out of water hose. What'd you do to the water? That we can't go drink out of water hose now. You did something to the water. Don't get it twisted. Y'all's the one that shut up heaven that there be no rain. But I'm exposing you to these wicked people and the games they play with people because they the hands. They the hands. They the mans with the hands that's doing all this stuff. Yeah. And the Most High tired of sin, so he letting them. Are y'all with me? But in Matthew 21 and 28, I'm just talking, y'all. Latricia Johnson, good to see you in here. Matthew 21, 28. What do you think? There was a man who had 2 sons. He went to the first, said, son, go and work in the vineyard today. His son said, no. You got to give up some stuff too to work in the vineyard. You got to be an example. You can't be in the vineyard and working effectively and you cuss. People ain't listening to you. They're not going. You do what you got to do, but they're not going to listen to you. You know how people listen to a person but knowing they ain't listening to them? Because anytime you start speaking truth to things of Yah, people start watching you. And if you do something they got in their mind, I ain't listening to you. I ain't listening to you. Because you just cussed. You drunk? They want to know now. Before you start speaking the things of Yah, they didn't care. They want to get drunk with you. But as soon as you start working in the vineyard, they be like, do I smell liquor? You smell like weed. You do too. Nah, but you smell like weed though. I ain't working in the vineyard. What you doing? So the father said, go work in the vineyard, son. Go work in the vineyard today. Man. Son said, no. What made him say no? Did he know the responsibility? Did he know the demographic of people that he's working in the vineyard amongst? Did he know them? Did he? You think? You think he knew? Yeah. By any chance, did he know who was in the vineyard? The spiritual wickedness in high places that's in the vineyard. The hypocrites. No, man, I ain't going. No. Go work, son. No. 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 No, I'd rather Warriors come on tonight. I'm going to watch the Warrior game. Working in the vineyard. What? The Warriors ministers meeting. Warriors ministers. I'm going to watch the Warriors. I've been forgetting the ministers meeting. This is a better day to forget. Nah, I ain't going. Nah, Banks, he don't want them type problems. That's heavy lifting right there. Work in the vineyard. Nah, he said no. Because spotlight on you. Especially when you're dealing with an educated crowd. When you're dealing with an educated crowd, because you be having people that are supposed to be working in the vineyard and they quit a long time ago, so they not in the vineyard, they back out in the streets. And when they see you supposed to be working in the vineyard and you out there with them, they know what it is. You can't fool them. How you working in the vineyard, like I said, and you still cuss. You shacking and stuff. You got a girlfriend. Is that your wife or your girlfriend, bruh? Bruh. Preacher. After you cussed, they didn't want to call you preacher. Preacher. You was just Danny a minute ago, but as soon as you cut, preacher. So the man had two sons. He approached one of his sons, the first son. Go on out and work, man. Jeff Brown, good to see you in here. Logan, always a pleasure. Matthew 21:28. He changed his mind, part 2. What made the son say, no, I ain't going. I can't be half dressed with my breast out. Well, I guess you can, huh? And still claim Jesus. In these fake churches. You can do that in a fake church. But you can't do that in front of a word-educated crowd. They ain't going for it. And when you know that, you be like, nah, I ain't going. No. Go on out and work in the vineyard. Because you got to represent Yah and the truth of the word. And that means you got to be on your best behavior. Because then folks going to say, you a hypocrite. You a player. You fake. Then it's going to stick better when they say you too judgmental. Yeah. Noah, when he was building the boat and warning the people to come on in, he couldn't be out there smoking weed building the boat. I'm not even, listen, look, weed has municipal benefits. And it's for medical, real talk too. And it's better than Norcos, to tell you the truth. This Western medicine is kind of weird. You just got to be careful of the fentanyl now, because you can smoke a joint and drop dead. But you also want to always be privy to how people look at you. It's not a sin to drink, or else the Messiah wouldn't turn water into wine at the feast. He was like a dude that pulled it with the kegs. You haven't seen a cat with the kegs in the back of his truck? Beer kegs. He turned 6, how many drums of water into wine. And if you look up wine in the original language, it means fermented drink, because people be dumb. Oh, should I say that? People are not as intelligent as they pretend to be when they talk about the Bible and say that the Bible wine wasn't fermented. It didn't have any alcohol in it. Either they're ignorant or they're lying. That's why the Bible said, be not drunk with wine, wherein is excess, meaning you drank too much, because it was fermented. That's how Noah got drunk off of Welch's grape juice. No, it was wine. It was fermented. Back to my point. You got to know your audience and watch yourself even when you drink. Though it's not a sin, but people would love to call it a sin if you preaching. Most High stopped me from drinking years and years and years ago, because I love to drink. That's one of the prices you pay when you go in the vineyard. And those that preach and still drink, you got to be wise. You can't be the type of person, I don't care. I know what the Bible say. I'm going to drink anyway, because your heart ain't right. You don't care? What you mean you don't care? You going to drink and then stop them from being able to listen to you? You need to help people. So you got to watch how you move. You can't be smelling like weed, even though it has municipal benefit. You got to try to wash it off you if you want people to listen to you. You could not even be sinning, but you ain't going to be able to help them, because they're going to call you a dopehead if you start trying to tell them what's right. People get offended when you start preaching truth. People don't want to hear you preaching truth. People start getting slick on you, you know. What's that there? What's that there you got there? What's that? Why you want to know what I got? I heard you preaching yesterday. What's that you got there? You got to watch yourself. So I understand what you think. The scripture started off. King James Version say, but what think ye? You know, hark, who goes there? Old English, right? But what think ye? yeah. NIV say more like, what you think, man? What you think? What you think? There was a man that had 2 sons. And he went to the first and said, son, go work in the vineyard today. Son said, nah. Katina Joseph, good to see you in here. Nah, I ain't going. Because people spotlight on you when you do that. Spotlight. Folks, I want to mind my business. You know, religious folks don't want the responsibility associated with carrying the word. I just mind my business. I don't bother nobody. I don't want nobody to bother me. The Messiah didn't say that. I ain't gonna bother nobody. I don't want nobody to bother. No, he went out and preached. He bothered people with love. The bothersome part of him showing love was he told them the truth. Because he was trying to help them. He didn't want the wrath of Yah to kill him. Because the wages of sin is death. So he came, found fashion as a man, Yah, right? Found fashion as a man. 2 Timothy 3:16, without controversy, great is the mystery of Yahweh. Yah was manifested in the flesh, justified in the spirit, seen of angels, preached on to the Gentiles, believed on in the world, and then received back up into glory. Kabah in Hebrew. Kabah. Received back up into Kabah. Woods, good to see you in here. We're in Matthew 21:28. Yah was manifested in flesh. Found fashion as a man, Philippians the 2nd chapter. He was found fashion as a man, so he humbled himself. Okay, now I got on earth clothes. Came on our level to save us. So as we dig into this thing, the Bible want to know what you think about this man that had 2 sons. He went to the first and said, "Son, go work today in the vineyard." Son looked at him and said, "Not a chance, Papa. Nah, no can do. I can't go for that. No can do. I will not," he answered. No. I understand. Y'all know I mean it. Like I said at the beginning of this lesson, from a natural standpoint, listen to me, from a natural standpoint, no, I don't, no. How y'all think my social credit score is? You know, they got a FICO for you. They come with the new currency. They coming with. It comes with the. They got it in China already, y'all. The prototype is here. You ain't got to believe me. Just look. Investigate yourself. Mother Katie, good to see you in here, man. But there's a social credit score. How am I doing? How you think about? It's like the FICA of your character, based on how they see it. See, they want you to accept pedophilia. They like children. They like children, like animals. They like the same sex. They like all these letters they got. Oh, you can buy down to these letters, or it's gonna mess up your credit score. Yeah, your social. They call it social credit score. And when your money is digital, if you got a poor credit score, you ain't gonna be able to buy or sell. How about that? How y'all think my credit score gonna be? In their eyes, what you think? You think I'm gonna have a eight, high 7s? What y'all think about my credit score? Huh? How yours gonna be? How many of y'all gonna have a good credit score? Social credit score. How many of y'all gonna go along with? Go along so you can get along. The scripture said, "What you think?" Matthew 21:28. What you think? There was a man who had 2 sons, and he went to the first and said, "Son, go and work in the vineyard." Okay. Son said, "No." Let me show y'all that. Let's go to Matthew's right quick. We'll stay in Matthew's. Let's slide up to the 26th chapter. I just want to show you something. I'll show you this. Slide up to the 26th chapter, right? And let's start at the 39th verse. Let's dive into this thought. Look at this say. Matthew's. I want to do the NIV. Yeah. Let's do that. I'm jumping right in the middle of the thick of the thing because there's enough information here so y'all understand what's going on. And this is the Messiah in the Garden of Gethsemane, where they talking about killing him. Judas already turned on him, turned to me and showed him where he at. Brought him. Judas brought him. Right. Okay. Well, this is right prior to him. They on their way, put it that way. In this scene. They haven't got there yet, but they probably entering into they just at the gate, finna come on in. Look what they say. Going a little farther, he fell. This is the Messiah, y'all. Going a little farther, he fell with his face to the ground and prayed, "My Father, if it is possible, may this cup be taken from me. Yet not as I will, but as you will." Did y'all hear that? He's so stressed out. Can I tell the truth? He's so stressed out in the vineyard. The vineyard that the man that had 2 sons was telling his son to go work today. Well, this is a guy that's in the vineyard, that's working today. And his experience is he went a little bit further and fell on his face. His face is on the ground. King James Version says he literally fell on his face. NIV was a little nicer and say with his face to the ground. How his face get to the ground? He slapped that joker on the ground. Life is real. This ain't no game. And us making a decision on who we gonna serve can cost you your life. It's gonna cost you your life. It's gonna cost you your natural life if you choose Yah, but you're gonna save your spiritual life. And if you choose the devil, it's gonna cost you your spiritual life, but you get to do you until you die and pay for it. When you choose the Most High, this is how your flesh feel. That's why his son said, "Nah, I ain't going. Nah, I'm not gonna do that. Why would you even ask me something like that? Am I gonna go in the vineyard and work today? What I do to you? What you gonna ask me that for? You mad at me about something? Dad, what I do to you?" 39 verse. Going a little farther, he fell on his face to the ground. He fell with his face to the ground and prayed, "My Father, if it's possible, may this cup be taken from me." That means no. No. Hey, from the streets of Oakland, you kind of like learn to mind your own business. For you get the business. You hear me? Mind your business. When you go in the vineyard, you exposing all business. You feel me? You telling the truth. In the streets, you don't tell the truth. The truth. You end up in prison. You end up a snitch. Talking about tell the truth. What you mean tell the truth? Bro, if you don't get out of here with that. Oh, this dude tell the truth. Man, kill him now. Before we go do it, he know what we do. And he tell the truth, man, kill him now. Tell the truth. Mind your business. When you with Yah, you don't run with crowds like that because you do tell the truth. You ain't snitching, but I ain't, it ain't that diabolical. I just tell you the truth don't work on the streets. You got to be slick and smooth. How you move. You got to have a little groove when you move. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But when you with Yah, it's a whole nother thing. Not only you got to speak the truth, you got to live it. You got an example. Some people make terrible examples. You can't trust them. Yah can't trust you. And you know it too. It is what it is. He went a little farther, fell on his face to the ground and prayed, "My Father, if it's possible, may this cup be taken from me." I love him saying, "Yet not as I will, but as you will." I want to read it in KJV. And he went a little farther and fell on his face and prayed, saying, "Oh, my Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless, not as I will, but as thou will." I like that. I'm not going to do me. I want to. Yeah. So the 40th verse said, then he turned to his disciples and found them sleeping. "Couldn't you keep watch with me for 1 hour?" He asked Peter. "Watch and pray so that you will not fall into temptation. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak." The spirit is willing, but our human nature, man, don't want nothing to do with this stuff, man. You got to grow in Yah to be willing to abandon your emotions, to abandon how you feel, to abandon what it look like, what it smell like, what it tastes like, what it sound like, and what it feel like. You'd have to really grow in your relationship spiritually with the Most High, to ignore how sexy someone is, or how rude someone is, or how much money that you can make, or how much fun you can have, how much fame you can. Come on, y'all. You'd have to be really mature in the spiritual realm and the things of the Most High to walk away from that, if that is pulling you from doing the work of Yah, obeying Yah. I'm trying to tell you something. You got to be mature. So while the Messiah is going through it, because they call it, the hour of temptation is upon them. It's upon the disciples too. They all in this thing together. And a leader is finna be murdered. They need their leader. And so they needed to grow in Yah too. But I'm going to tell you something. Things can get so rough. They say, like, mental health, right? Mental health is damaged during times like what they was going through. And I'm telling you right now, when the world got shut down, COVID, everybody wearing masks, scared, letting them put some poison in them, and the whole 9 yards was a whole nother conversation, right? But pressure caused people to do that. People didn't want to do that in the experimental stage. But pressure, not only was it pressure and fear, but they also use a little muscle. They start threatening people's livelihoods and jobs. So a lot of people let them put some stuff in them. They knew what they was doing, but the people didn't. They guinea pigs. It was worse than guinea pig. They knew what it was going to do. They knew it was going to clog your arteries. And a lot of people, whatever pre-existing illness they had, they were going to be overcome by them. Like people that had cancer died of cancer right after that. People that had heart trouble had heart attacks after the strokes. But I ain't going there right now. All I'm saying is pressure, fear made them succumb. Mental health. When you're up under a substantial amount of pressure, your mental health go down, and it causes you to sleep. You want to just sleep. Just give me a break. I just want to sleep. And that's what's happening right here. 41st. Then he turned to his disciples and found them sleeping. Stressed, man. They were stressed out. Couldn't you men keep watch for me for 1 hour? He asked Peter. Call them men. You a man. What you do? Bruh. Couldn't you men keep watch with me for 1 hour? He asked Peter, watch and pray so that you will not fall into temptation. The spirit is willing. Listen what he said. Your spirit is willing to obey Yah, but your flesh, I get it. He went away a second time and prayed, my Father, if it is possible for this cup to be taken away unless I drink it, may your will be done. Oh, is there any way out of this? Is there any way out? Don't get it twisted. The reason why this is written, because not only did it happen, but it happened for our learning, that you might come to a place to where you want to quit. Yeah, real talk. You might meet something that will cause you to want to quit. And this is showing you don't. And it's showing you to what level you want to quit. He was sweating like blood. It was pouring like he was bleeding to death or something. He was stressed. 43rd verse. And when he came back, he found them sleeping. They would sleep again, y'all. Because their eyes were heavy. So he left them and went away once more, and prayed the third time. Listen, saying the same thing. Yeah, man, is there another way? Well, you'll find in this race, you're going to be looking for another way. I'm going to tell you right now, there's no other way. The Most High got to topple this regime. And they got to get at us. I'm just telling you what it is what it is. But they going to get at us some more. We still in Jacob's trouble. We still living in the last days. Yeah. We what is it, Jeremiah 30? Is that what it is? Yeah, Jacob's trouble. Yeah, Jacob's in trouble because he's shipped into slavery. He's 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 scattered into foreign lands. He's carrying melanated skin and he's hated. And then they just did the DNA and everyone posting, that they're awake now. We know we the people. Well, they know we the people. They been knew. We didn't know, so it was not as alarming to them. They jacked us for identity at work. Back in slavery times, we didn't have all this technology and all this stuff. Back in slavery times, you get killed if you read, if you know how to read and all that. Now that we can read and the Most High's prophecies is coming to pass, Romans 11 chapter, he had given us the spirit of stupor or sleep like that, sleep. But now we waking up. Ezekiel 37, the bones is rattling. He told Ezekiel, prophesy. Tell them who they are. Tell them who I am. Tell them whose they are. So we waking up to who we are, and they watching and said, oh, man, the cat is out the bag. All these secret societies, part of the secret is who Israel really is. I won't get into all the games they play with English. That's what the Moors be talking about, more science, the Black Law Dictionary and all that. I'm not going to get deep into that, but they got secrets. They're liars, symbols. They stole the Egyptian way of things, the way of doing things. This is the white version, the European version of Egypt. And that's why this is the second Egypt. That's why Deuteronomy 28:6 say you'll be shipped into Egypt. We in Egypt. The European Roman version of Egypt, the Catholicized Catholic version of Egypt. That's where we are. And a part of that, they jacked us for identity. Yeah. But now we're waking up. So now it's a problem for you. Yeah. You better get close to Yah. If my people, which you call by my name, will humble themselves and pray, seek my face, turn from their wicked ways. He's going to hear from heaven. He's going to forgive our sins. He's going to heal our land. If you ain't going to do that, you're going to have a problem. Problems is coming anyway, but you want to be in spiritual Goshen. You want the Most High to protect you. Yeah. The only way he gonna protect you, some of y'all, he might not protect you like you think because you kind of wishy-washy. He can't trust you. And when y'all can't trust you, it makes it hard for you to trust him, which makes you go against him. If you don't trust Yah, you're going to go against him. And you can't trust him if you ain't trustworthy. That's just a whole nother conversation. 45th verse. Then he returned to the disciples and said to them, are you still sleeping and resting? Look, the hour has come, and the Son of Man is delivered into the hands of sinners. You still asleep, huh? What is finna go down? Back to Matthew 21:28. Time for me to get out of here, y'all. Listen. What do you think? 28, y'all. What do you think? There was a man who had two sons. He went to the first son and said, son, go and work today in the vineyard. The son said, no. But later he changed his mind and went. Good decision. Some of us be on that, no. And then he changed his mind. He changed his mind. Part two, y'all. He changed his mind. Good decision. We respond in the flesh. This Messiah as a man was crying out, I would that this cup pass from me. But he said, nevertheless, not my will, not the will of my flesh, my humanity. Have your way, y'all. I don't feel like going through this transition that the earth is finna go through. They trying to change the world into a new one. And the new one is minus Yah. Yeah, they ready to get sexually satanic as heck. They want to erase gender. They're a gender bender. So they're doing it in schools with the children in the cartoons. They got transvestite, doing story time. These people are so satanic and perverted that it's unbelievable. But it's believable because it's been done before. That's why they starting to pass laws to erase history. They don't want to teach black history and all that no more. It's deeper than just the natural. It's deep. But if you know history, you'll know how to not repeat it. So they got to erase it so they can do. They taking your rights away. They be doing like fake shootings and all that because they want to take your guns away to protect you. They don't want you to be able to protect yourself because when they lock you in your houses for an extended period of time, people gonna come out with their guns. You ain't gonna lock me. You ain't gonna turn this place into a giant prison without a fight. So they smart. And then if you look at the symbol for the medical system, it's the Baphomet private part. The look in the lap of the goat, Baphomet. The goat head with the breast and the phallus, it represents a man's private part with the two snakes wrapped around it. And then the wings of Baphomet, that's the medical system symbol. That pole with the snakes wrapped around it, with the wings, those are death camps. That's why they don't say they heal you, they treat you. That's why they say they practice in medicine. They don't. Look at all the side effects to their medicine. They're not using herbs and things that will heal your body. They're doing something else. Pharmacia. The pharmacy symbol, yeah? And pharmacia, look at the root of pharmacy. Pharmacia. Look it up. It's casting spells. It's spirits. We live amongst Satan worshipers. Yeah, chemicals. Yeah, of course. That's what they use. Yeah, they're devils. I gotta go. He changed his mind, y'all. We need to change our mind. Those of us that got a history of selling y'all out repeatedly, stop doing that. You're not gonna get away with it. Keep trying to warn you. Shame on anybody. I ain't gonna even say it. But stop selling your house. That's what I will say. You don't like the results. It's gonna be good for you. Is that all right? Is there anyone out there that want to do better? Put a 4 in here. Want to do better. Want to do better. Want to do better. Just want to do better. Anyone out there want to do better? Put a 4 on there. Put a 4 in here if you want to do better. You want to do better. Put a 4 in here. If you just want to do better, and yeah, that's it. Not my will, thy will be done. Put a 4 in here. I want to do better. I know our flesh got an opinion. Mine do too. Put a 4 in here. But you just want to do better. Want to do better. Giving Yah permission. Yeah, I want to do better. 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 You already know we're going to graduate, so we might as well do it now. Put a 5 on it if you're going to do better, because Yah will supply you with the grace to do better. He will. Real talk. Put a 5 on it. He will give you the unmerited favor to do better. He really will. Ask him. Put 5 on it. Put 5 on it. Put 5 on it. Put 5 on it. 5 on it. If there's anyone out there that hasn't received him as master of your life, surrendered, 100%. You're like, I'm walking away from all sin. I just want to follow you. Put a 1 on it. Put a 1. We playing the numbers game now, y'all. Put a 1 in here. If you haven't received, I'm talking about 100%, I want to surrender to him. I've never done it on this level. I mean it, I'm walking away from all sin. I don't care what it is. I don't care what I'm doing. If I was shacking, if I was lying, if I'm willing to give up any and all sin. Put a 1 in here. I'm surrendering all. I'm surrendering everything right now. I'm done. Whatever he say, I'll obey. Put a 1 in here. Because I want to pray with you. Put a 1 in here. Put a 1 in here. I surrender all. Even if it's you for the first time or it's for the 20th time, just put a 1 in here because I want to pray with you. If you for the first time, if you put a 1 in here, feel free to put a 2 in here if you want to be baptized because I'm willing. I don't care where you are in the States. I don't care where you are. Repent and be baptized, every one of you, in the name of Yahushua, and you shall receive his spirit. Put a 2. Put a 2. The ones. Y'all ready to pray? Let's pray. Spirit of living Elohim, we love you and thank you for this opportunity coming for you. Humbly know how, for we need you desperately. Save your children. We want to be saved. Though we walk through the valley of the shadow of death, we're not scared. Why? Only because thou art with us. Your rod and your staff, they comfort us. We're comforted. We're in a heck of a place, and sometimes we respond wrong. We're not being an example. We're not living right like we should. We be completely committed, and then we back up, and then we completely committed, and then we back up. We want to break that curse. We want to reverse that curse. We want to stay with you through thick and thin. Even when our flesh is crying out, I would that this cup pass from me. We gonna tell our flesh. We gonna check our flesh. The son said no, and then he changed his mind. We want to be those that change our mind when we talking crazy, talking against you, going against you, living contrary to your word and your will. Help us. Help us. We surrender all. Help us. We surrender all. Help us. Forgive us for sin. Forgive us for all sin. Now give us a heart and a mind to go forth in you. Surrender to you 100%. And we'll be careful to give you the praise and honor, not only now but forever. In Matchless name, Yahushua, we humbly pray. Hallelujah. Yahuwah. And Amen. That was the lesson for the day. I pray we all continue to obey everything the Most High say. Okay? Okay. He changed his mind, part 2. I hope y'all was Baruch. Thank everybody that pushed the share button. Because that, you're sharing your platforms with the truth of the word. Thank everybody that tag. You're telling people, come on in. Hear a good word, life-changing word. And I thank the Most High for you. And thank everybody that supports this ministry. It's great to support ministry. In fact, it's his will. It's written. You just want to support a ministry that supports you. That's it. Always a pleasure. Twice. Real talk. Love y'all. Right on, Barbara. Bless you. All right, Trinda. Love all y'all. All right, Mother. Katie, bless y'all. I love y'all. Y'all want to talk about the word? 302-202-1102, extension 815648. Want to pray? 302-202-1102, extension 815648. Keep that number because there's prayer on that number at noon today. All right? Y'all be Baruch. Baruch Shalom. I'm gone.